a great day for us. Just come from a country that I would consider the darkest country on earth, Philippines. And I'm said from a spiritual point of view, is full of evil people, like I've never seen anywhere before. And they display it. There's no other place I'm aware of where Freemasonry is so in display, other than Washington, capital of the US, and Philadelphia, which is entirely Freemasonic. But this country is absolutely totally plagued with them. And here's the irony: in the middle of all that, something has happened. When the background is so dark, even the smallest of light, sharp as lighter. And when the background is so dark, we should be happy, because Allah is making it easier for us. Easier for the Sufi, impossible for everybody else. Because those who look in the outward, they will only see difficulties. But the Sufi will say, wow, this is good ground. Our light will shine to the last corner. Philippines doesn't exist, for God's sake. If you want to see something absurd in this world of the politics of these internationalists, that is Philippines. The name is absurd. The idea is absurd. The country is a complete fabrication. So are all the others, without exception. But Philippines comes to the top in the realm of absurdities, political absurdities. That fabricated constitutional state of humanistic Freemasons brought from the Catholic Church and some other places. That formation called Philippines is absurd altogether. And it's in that place where the crack is. And we just need a little crack. I visited an island called Sulu, and the capital, Jolo. And we have here with us somebody who's educated in Jolo, from Sandakan, but who's brought up in Jolo. But I want to tell you something different and shocking. They have nothing. Truly nothing. No infrastructure. Kelantan is bad. This is much worse. Totally neglected. Totally neglected by Manila. Injustice as a monument. The people are poor. They are broken because of the defeats that humanist forces have brought upon them, before them, and nationalist, foolish nationalist defeats that they brought upon them, and they are broken, and they have nothing. But they have courage. They have the courage that is missing here. They have stood before the enemy and look at the enemy into their eyes. And that is courage. And when we see it, we have to say, you've gone ahead of us. We have to catch up with you. They have the cure for us. And we have a cure for them. Because they think they need us Well, in fact, we need them more than they need us. We need what they have desperately. And you cannot get it anywhere else. What they want from us is something, stuff, that doesn't mean anything. You can get it anywhere. But what they have, you cannot buy. What they have is precious. What they have is unique. And I met the Sultan. Sultan Batillan Nuzuddin II. He comes from an old family of the broken line of Sultanates of Sulu. As you know, there are many pretenders, they say. But there can only be one. All the others, they are living in luxury in Malaysia. Only one is living in Holland. That's an indication. The others, they are seeking the recognition of the rich. The other is finding the recognition of the poor. That's an indication. The others seek the company of the rich. The other lives with the poor. The others, they are seeking things for themselves. This man is asking things for his people. That's an indication. The others, they live in safety. This man lives in danger. And that's an indication. He has put his life for his people. And that's an indication. And when I talked and I mentioned the name of Allah, he cried. And that's a big indication. And when he talked about his people, he cried. And that's a big indication. The people say, he's not a PhD, he's not a doctor, he doesn't speak English. In other words, he's a simple man. That's not what I saw. They are the simple ones. They are so pathetically copy of the same, a cloning of the idioticity of what is produced in this educational system. They are the simpletons, the waste of time, the historical product. But this man is not. Rasul Sallallahu was the illiterate. The degrees, he's the illiterate. How can he know? And finally, he is the only one on the planet Earth who has declared Darwin Islam. And that is the final indication. But it's too small, people say. Go back to Medina then. That was small. But they are poor. No, they are not poor. Medina was poor. Medina was poor. We will find it hard to survive in that place. You have to be a Bedouin to live out of the desert when the only wealth there is water and 4 dates. That's hard. They were poor. Not in Holland. You go to the sea, you find pearls. These waters are flooded with life. You go to the jungle to find mango trees. But all kind of life. That cannot be poverty. That they look into Holland and they see poverty because they don't have a Mercedes. And the Istana of the Sultan is 50 square meters. This house is bigger than his palace. Do you think the Sultan of Malaysia is more powerful because of his stand up there? This man has a million times more power than the Sultan of Malaysia. If you could only see. They have something we don't have. And they have moved ahead and they have moved forward. And we have to take from it. Like somebody who is about to die in the desert when he finds water. And if you understand that, then you can call yourself a Sufi. Because this is what it means to seek knowledge. Like Ibn Atayla said, I will go on my hands and knees. You have to go on your hands and knees. Among us there is a man who lives in total luxury. He has a business with an income better than most of us. And he said, I don't want to live here. I don't want to live in England. I want to come here. But how many of us are caught because I have a job and they cannot move one finger? And what is the thing that is paralyzing them? If they had their eyes, they will look back upon it and they will say, this is pathetic. How many are ready to say, I'm going to hollow and I'm going to hell? That's why when you say La ilaha illallah and you say, I understand, hold on. Hold on. Because the reality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one. His indications are clear. But you have a lot of phantoms lurking around your life. If you have sincerity, come to this circle. Because we will remind you, and you will find among us some who are ready to act. So see in our intoxication what the benefit is for you, so that you may find some courage yourself to start moving and doing something. But if you're coming here is to entertain yourselves, is to see what is all this thing about, and this thing doesn't break your heart, and you don't come out of here with a fury to act, you have not just wasted your time, you have lost an opportunity that may not come back again. You don't come to this circle of dhikr to have a good time. That's not what I want. I want you to come out of here absolutely, totally broken, because you have to do things you are not ready to. You come out of here full of responsibility and heavy weight. Because that's the only way to find peace. Peace is with Him, not in this world. There's nothing in this world that is going to give you peace. Nothing. There is a group of Europeans who are coming, and it's good. Because we want to show this as an ummah phenomenon. What we have to do is to steal Dar al-Islam from the Tausug. We want to be there. And they are generous people, you see. They will let us fight with them. And we help this man. And whoever criticizes this man, he's insulting you. And you say to him something very simple. When you have done 1/10 of what this man has done, and you have 1/10 of the courage that this man has, and you have 1/10 of the ability to stand and endure conditions that you will never do, what you can do to a man like this is to support and help with everything that you've got, so that Allah may give some mercy to you and free you from your nonsense. And that's why we have a great opportunity. We have to build up Dar al-Islam. And everything is to be done. The Tausug will respond. They're slowly coming out from it, and they never lost in the battle. Don't be mistaken. The friend tomorrow didn't lose the war. They lost the negotiation, the peace negotiation. Isn't that ironic? They lost when they were signing. Betrayed, of course, as usual, by the Arabs. Once again. But now what we are starting is different. What we are starting has a very different line. We don't seek the recognition of anybody except Allah. And that is strength, and that is authority. And then we put upon ourselves the task of building up what is missing. So we build our coin, and we will have the dinar of the Sultanate of Sulu. And when you compare the dinar of Kelantan and the dinar of Sulu, you will find yourself the difference. Not in what the coin is just a piece of metal, but in what the meaning of that is.